Hello and welcome to the Corner 3 Pacers Show. My name is Alex.
My name's Ross.
My name's Zach.
And the Pacers are on a 6-game winning streak. Everyone's happy, smiling faces. Nothing's going wrong.
No players-only meetings.
Everything's going to be fine, right? Right.
Yes.
Moving forward, we've got some fun games. We've got a tough February schedule coming up. We played kind of the
easy part.
The easy part of the schedule, I'd definitely say, for 2017, but now comes the tough part. But let's look back first on some of these wins of late, because that's all we have is wins of late. First, I'll start off with the Pacers' 98-88 win over the Magic. I did the post-game report on our Twitter feed. Pacers in control for most of the game. They didn't get out to a huge lead. Stuckey came back, then Stuckey left very quickly. I think he scored 8 points, but only played like 10 or 12 minutes. Sprained his ankle. He's out again tonight. So is Thad Young, and actually Miles might be out tonight.
Illness.
But the Pacers kind of have their number. Magic are a weird team. We've kind of talked about that, I think, earlier this season when we first played them. Just a weird team. PG only had 8 points, though. It was a team win. Glenn Robinson had 14 points, didn't miss a shot from the field, 6 rebounds. CJ Miles had a really good game. Just nice to see the rest of the team kind of back PG up after he's had a really strong run of games.
I totally agree. The number one thing to take away from that game, PG only had 8 points. We still won. Mm-hmm. And won convincingly. I mean, only 10 points. But 6 guys scored double figures. PG wasn't one of them. I'll take it. Let's move on.
And Monte had 0 points. He didn't.
Which has been a theme of late.
What do we keep doing with this guy? But it is what it is.
He's a very expensive. He's $11 million 0 points per game player as of late. But who knows what he's doing in the locker room? Who knows what else? And there are definitely going to be points, I think, during the rest of this season, if we keep him, that he can play a big role for sure.
Oh, yeah. And the Pacers, after that game, moved on to the Nets. Pacers won 106-97. A big game from Jeff Teague, Paul George, both at 24 points. And Monte Ellis had 9 points. So, hey, he didn't get 0 points that game. Brooklyn's just a bad team. This is a game you're supposed to win. Thankfully, the Pacers did win. Obviously, Lopez still had his way. He's one of the best big men in the game still. But he's about their only player. So
yeah, I wrote down there, the rest of the Nets starters combined had 11 points. Lopez had 23. Not a whole lot going on there for them. The bench, though, scored really well for the Nets, 63 points. I mean, that was had to be the majority of their points. It was nice to see the Pacers beat the team they're supposed to beat, like we've been talking about.
Yeah. I mean, Nets are awful.
Yes.
And they kind of became another laughingstock. Well, they already were kind of a laughingstock of the league, but now with Yogi going off for the Dallas Mavericks, and they picked up Spencer Dinwiddie instead. And I mean, Yogi's not going to sustain 30 points per game. I mean, I wish he could, but he's not. I don't think there is Harden's the only 30-point per game scorer, I think, in the league right now. But I mean, obviously, it's when you pass on one of those guys like Linsanity or pass on like Yogi when everyone's talking about him, you don't feel too good as like a GM or just an organization passing on someone like that.
Yeah, they had him in a 10-day contract, and then
nope,
could have used that. Anyway, after that game, then we went back home. No, it was in Detroit.
Yeah, no, it was here.
It was home. Sorry, it was home. I did the report, and I can't remember. The back-to-back game for us. Well, second night of a back-to-back, whatever it's called. Pacers won against the Pistons, 105-84.
Ross is a new dad. Give him some time here. He's still adjusting back to normal life.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A game that would make Zach happy from his pick'em selections for sure. 6-game winning streak. You call a 6-game winning streak? I know you did 5.
I had the Pacers losing to the Magic, actually.
Oh, well, another winning streak. Good for Zach. He keeps picking him to win. Pacers led wire to wire, but the biggest story for us, and if you saw our recap, Lavoy Allen played exceptionally well. Jumpers, hitting buckets when he normally misses, 18 points, diving on the floor. Very surprising, but very nice to see, especially on a night when Thad Young is out with injury. We had our backup big play very, very well.
Paganoism, it's next man up. Keep chopping wood.
It was a shocker, but hey, at least we got another win against Detroit. Jake Masters can't say nothing about that.
Oh, yeah. Jake Masters, big Pacers fan. But yeah, I really liked the way we came back after that first quarter. Ross and I watched the game together. We were talking about how many points, easy buckets they gave up.
A ton of points.
Gave up to the Pistons early in that first quarter.
They gave up just as many back, though.
I mean, Detroit's a team struggling to find their identity, too. A lot of people thought that this maybe is the year they make a little bit of a bump or a move up in the standings. That hasn't happened, obviously. Drummond hasn't really been the force he's usually been. Jackson's still getting back from his injury. And just some weird pieces on that team. But, again, this is a game where we had a 8-point lead about the whole game, and then they're late in the third and into the fourth. We get a 15-point lead, and then at the end there, 21-point win is huge, especially in your conference on the second night of a back-to-back. And with the tough February schedule, like we'll talk about later, that was big.
Yeah, which leads to a fan question that we had. Zach, do you want to talk about that one with Lavoie?
Yeah, so we had a question from Marcus Simpson, or Marcus S. the Great on Twitter. He tweets in,
Seems like an interesting cat.
Lavoie had a good game last week. Was it enough to boost his trade value?
Yeah. So this is insisting or saying then that we're thinking about trading Lavoie. Now, Lavoie's on a cheap contract, so there's that. But I think what it does do is say that maybe some other guys are expendable. I've always thought that the Pacers, there hasn't been any rumors of it, but Thad Young is on the last year of his 2 more years on his deal.
I think he's got at least 2, yeah.
He's been good for the Pacers. He hasn't been exceptional, I wouldn't say, but he's fit in pretty well. If they can get some established, just at least role work from Lavoie Allen and Seraphin, because Thad's putting up, even in some of these good wins, only like 10, 12 points and 6 or 5 rebounds. Maybe they can flip Thad for a piece, Thad and something else for a piece. So maybe Lavoie playing well makes someone else a piece.
You want Lavoie to start?
Oh, I don't care if it was Lavoie or Seraphin. I mean, I think that you could play Seraphin with Miles Turner to start the game. Or you can put CJ at the 4. I don't know.
Get the big body like they did against the Pistons. Lavoie guarded Drummond so that Miles could be free to do what he does.
It's more of like Thad. I think I really like Thad, but I don't, this is his first year playing the power forward position, first of all. And I think it's kind of obvious that he's not really a power forward. And with this team, you kind of need one because PG is not a banger around the hoop as far as he's not going to take, Kevin Love down there.
Yeah, well, Zach's talked all year. We need a power forward upgrade. But you would normally talk about backup. But
yeah, but this could be something where if Lavoie shows that he's capable of doing this occasionally, maybe a team gets desperate and they throw. This might be something where you can actually package Monte Ellis or Rodney Stuckey with Lavoie Allen to get you your backup power
Take
forward.
all of our bad pieces.
So, a couple of good games, someone might get, they might get Lavoie crazy and make a deal.
If he has a couple of good games. So it'd be nice tonight for him to come out. I mean, he'll have to probably put him on Adams, I would imagine, if they do that same kind of big on big.
I mean, I think the year after he got traded here, so first year of the rebuild, he was actually pretty solid as far as hitting jumpers.
Hustler, he was
like
great.
That. And this year and last year, for the most part, he just hasn't been able to hit a shot around the rim. He's been really soft around the rim. Even in this game, he had a couple of times around the rim where he just kind of
just pushes it, go strong.
Yeah, it doesn't go up as aggressive as you like. But maybe, who knows what position they could put him in. They're 6th in the East right now. They were 10th in Mark Stein's power rankings I saw today. So they're getting some attention from around the league. But again, this next month here is going to really tell a lot about the Pacers.
That's correct.
Agreed.
Moving
2 games out. 2 games
Moving
out.
on here, we've got so let's talk about Stuckey. We love Rodney Stuckey. I think everyone in Indianapolis and Indiana loves Stuckey as far as a piece of this team, but he just can't stay on the court.
Can't stay healthy.
We've talked about this at length about how.
What good are you if you can't stay healthy? No offense.
No offense, but offense.
It's a shame.
Well, if it was anything like the NFL, he'd be cut already.
I know. I'm thinking
he'd be like, "Oh, that's the way with NBA contracts."
Like Bob Sanders, when he's there, it's so great for us when he's on, but
I mean,
he's
who knows
out
if we
most
already
of the time.
made the Monte Ellis move if Stuckey has been healthy this whole time and he's been able to play, but you can't really make a move right now because if you move Stuckey, you have no real. I mean, he and Stuckey, Ellis and Stuckey are the only 2 shooting guards on the team. If we're going to talk about position basketball,
right?
They're the only 2s. Glenn Robinson is just a wing, I would say. But I mean, they're traditional. They need the ball and to score. They can't play off the ball.
Exactly.
Agreed. I wish he'd get healthy.
Yeah. Come on, Rodney. We need you. We need you, baby.
The next one, All-Star Weekend, is fast approaching. When is it? 2nd week here in February? 3rd week
Something
in
like
February?
that, yeah.
Coming up.
Coming up.
25th, I want to say, or something.
2 weeks?
Yeah. So soon, we have 3 representatives from the Pacers. Trey Dog in the dunk
Glenn Robinson
contest,
III.
Glenn Robinson. Miles Turner competing in the Rising Stars Challenge, and PG making his 4th appearance at the All-Star
Which
game.
one are you most excited about? Let's talk about that.
I'm looking forward to the Rising Star game with Miles Turner.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he has the biggest chance of
Like blowing up
showing
and going on
something.
the national
yeah.
scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
See
excited.
that.
Paul George is another All-Star game.
Yeah.
Trey Dog will be second in the dunk contest. I just haven't seen like any like crazy dunks from Glenn Robinson to make me think, oh, he can
fly, but he never does anything with it. He just gets up and puts it down.
It's like, what is he supposed to do? He's trying to gain minutes. If he does something stupid in a game,
Yeah,
he's benched
that's true.
immediately.
Now when he's free to do what he wants.
I mean, if you watch him, if you follow the Pacers on Snapchat, they do some clips of like them in the warm-up lines. He's always getting up there. I mean, I don't doubt it at all, especially some like the practice clips I've seen. But I agree with you, Miles Turner in the Rising Star game. I mean, I think Kyrie was already a star, but he had a really good Rising Star game. I think he set the scoring record one year. It's kind of a way, if he takes a couple threes here in that game and hits them, I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of put him out in that scene. Because everyone talks about Porzingis. Everyone talks about Embiid. Towns. I mean, in the NBA circle, they talk about Turner, but not really just for normal NBA fans.
This is his opportunity to show everybody, like, you see the post, like, they do the 1 year post NBA draft grades, and they're like, oh, Miles Turner would have been the top.
Should have been
top 4, top 3 pick. Well, this is his chance to show it to a national audience. So, you know what? I could have been a top 3 pick.
He probably should have in the end. I mean, like Paul George should have been first and John Wall probably second there for that draft.
Miles was, 11, 10? I was getting
11.
confused.
11.
Because 10 through 13 was like Booker, Turner, all those guys. Yeah.
That was a great draft, by the way, though. I mean, especially in that 12 to 13. Booker,
He was
Trey
10.
Lyles.
He was 10 because 9 was Winslow. I remember that.
That was a good draft. Yeah. Winslow hasn't really.
He's hurt out this year.
Out the year.
Out the whole year.
That's how little I've heard about him.
Too bad.
Oh, well. What else we got here?
6-game winning streak.
Yeah. How much value do we put on the winning streak, or how much value do we put on at least they're beating, are they the Miami Heat?
They're beating teams they should beat.
Yeah.
When we go through our predictions and the recap or breakdown of opponents, you'll see I think it was a lot to do with a weak schedule. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to see how good they actually are. Because the difference between them and the Heat, for instance, the Heat were beating teams which we beat the Rockets too, but the Heat beat the Rockets, they beat the Warriors, they beat the Hawks. They had that 10-game win streak. They got good teams in that 10 games. So
this February schedule, Pat Boylan tweeted out
softest.
It's rough.
The January was softest. Now it's getting ready to be the hardest.
Really rough. Every win is going to be a solid win the rest of February, that's for sure.
Yeah, when we get to that part, there's maybe one game of the next 5 where you think we got a shot.
This stretch, I think, we've been talking the last couple of weeks of, are they turn the corner? Are they doing this? They'll win 4 games, they'll lose 3 games. I think this stretch in February finally shows who they are.
Yeah, I agree.
This will be who they are finally.
I mean, you've got the Wizards playing really well. I think they're 4th or 3rd, the 4th in the East. Celtics are playing at a really high level. Isaiah Thomas is just on another planet at this point. And the Cavs are going to figure out. I think they've won 3 out of 4. So solidifying themselves, trying to get to that top 4 spot. They play the Wizards coming up, so that's a big game as far as the standings go. Mm-hmm. Moving into the dog days of the NBA season here.
Yeah. Well, next point I wanted to bring out I thought was kind of interesting. It just popped up randomly on Twitter, 2 days ago, the 4th. Mm-hmm. Jermaine O'Neal, former Pacer great, former 3rd in the MVP voting one year, I remember.
He was a stud.
Super exciting for us. He tweeted to Miles Turner saying, "Let's get some mid-post, low-post work in when you get back to Dallas this summer. Love the energy you play with. Let me know." Which I find kind of ironic because J.O. never really played in the post. Remember, he hated being a center.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I know
he
he's
would
trying
bang
to
a
say,
little bit, but he banged to get in that position to fade. Yeah.
Right? Miles says, heck yeah. And then Jermaine says, done. Looking forward to it. No matter what the era is, it's always a brotherhood. Pacer for life.
So, I like that.
Miles
attitude.
And J.O. are going to be working out together this summer.
I like that.
Working on his post game.
But remember, though, we've had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar come in
for
Roy. So
did a lot of good there.
I'd love to see those two work together. I'd like to see Miles work with Hakeem because Hakeem works out with Kobe, works out with LeBron, works out with everybody. For him to get some strong post moves.
Exactly, yeah. He's already got the jumpers.
Yeah.
Shot looks fine, and then he runs to the rim. If he can get some
The shimmy and
and
fade away.
hooks and oh man,
just like a good post presence, because there's times where he has a little guy on him and he still resorts to the fadeaway and he makes it because he's that good, but still you kind of want him to have some sort of a backup move. But one thing I do like is that Jermaine O'Neal was so good at timing blocks from like the weak side. Miles Turner is really he's really good already at blocks when the player's coming at him. But let's say someone's posting up that or someone's posting up PG, he can come from the weak side. Jermaine O'Neal is so good at coming from the weak side and knocking it out. So I don't know if something that he can teach him or just timing wise, but that's something when I saw that tweet, I didn't think about the offense, thought about the defense actually.
So if we have any fans in Dallas this summer, be on the lookout and let us know how it's going.
Yeah, they'll be invited in.
I don't know. Just who knows? He's down at the Y. Hey, wait.
Yeah. All right, we've got a very heavy slate of games coming up here. A lot of games. I don't know if it's 5 in the next
5 in the next week. Yeah, starting tonight, Monday.
So we've got the Thunder tonight at BLF. No Cantor. Obviously broke his hand while punching a chair.
You guys talked about that last
Miles Turner illness might be out. That is maybe. I know that is out. I heard.
That's
officially out.
That's out.
Rodney
the wrist still
questionable.
And Rodney Stuckey is questionable.
Oh,
so it's Russell Westbrook. Irregardless, it's Russell Westbrook. It's how do you contain him? Jeff Teague, the first matchup, had I think his best game of the year without someone. I think it was without PG actually. Was it without PG that they beat the Thunder? I think so.
Yeah, we weren't expecting them to, right?
Yeah. So who do you guys have here? I mean, let's talk about it first. I mean, do we expect another repeat performance of that win at Oklahoma City?
Well, it's tough because we got the injuries coming up. We know there's no outside shooting on the Thunder. They're the second worst three-point shooting team in the league.
Yeah, it's Morrow and that's it.
Yeah, the issue you have with them is they're, I think, number 4 in the league in rebounds. And what the Pacers struggle with? Rebounds. We're 27th in the league.
Yeah.
So Cantor being out helps, obviously. But with the Pacers' injuries coming up, and this is a true test of how they're going to be playing. I'm going to be picking the Pacers. It's a home game. We play well at home, but this is also a game I can easily see Russell Westbrook just killing us and taking over the game and winning it for the Thunder.
I'll take the Pacers as well.
Okay.
I think that teams aren't necessarily figuring out the Thunder at all because they're still playing at a really high level. But I think once you played them well, it's easier to say, okay, we can take away these guys and make. Well, if we take away Westbrook, you can't do that completely, but you can make guys like Morrow beat you, like Singler if he gets in the game beat you, and now without Cantor, who is I'd say their second biggest offensive threat, and third probably Oladipo, make those guys beat you, and then you have a chance. Because you're not going to stop Russ. You can only try and slow him down.
Exactly. Try to keep him a little under a triple-double.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Pacers as well. Friend of the show, Evan Smith, is actually going to be at the game tonight. He claimed the tickets at the office.
Nice.
Yeah. Mark Boyle tweeted out earlier today, it's the one time the Thunder come to town, and if you want to go to any game this year, he goes, Russ puts on a show. He recommends you go there tonight. So by the time you listen to this, it's already over. But remember that for next year.
Last year. It was pretty cool.
We weren't busy tonight.
He was just
going to go.
He was just like a bullet to the rim. You can just feel like his energy when he just like turns it on and he goes to the hoop.
That guy plays with reckless abandon. I just love watching him play because I'm going to kill the rim every time. It's
fun
amazing.
to watch, that's for sure.
So we all picked the Pacers.
We all picked the Pacers, which stinks. Making me ground up.
Let's see what it's today. So Wednesday night, Pacers are playing the Cavaliers. Cavaliers on a little bit of a, what is it, 5 out of their last 8 they've lost now? Or?
7 out of
3
8.
out of 4 now.
Oh, well, since after that.
Everything happened.
Obviously, LeBron's had his comments recently.
5-5, yeah.
Going on with what the team should do, but also Charles Barkley, the back and forth between that.
We
discussed that last week. I think the Pacers are 6.5 games behind the Cavs, obviously.
Out of first.
Which makes a little bit of a dent. I think the Pacers are 2 games behind the 3 seed. So
yeah,
any win we can get will help us out. Obviously, Cavs are known for the scoring. They're number 4 in the league. They're a great 3-point shooting team, and they also rebound.
Yeah.
So depending on how our injuries shape up in the next couple of days, I think we have a chance. But I am taking the Cavaliers on this one.
I'm gonna take the Pacers here.
Ooh, okay.
I like how we play them, even though we typically lose. We already beat them once this year, but I really like how we play them when we match up. I think we match up height-wise pretty much the same at every position and kind of the same type of player.
Is JR still out?
Yeah, JR's still out. But I mean, we kind of bring that same like Miles Turner and Thompson are both really good around the rim as far as blocking shots and affecting shots. PG and LeBron are both, amazing wing players, and Kyrie and Jeff Teague are also ball dominant guards who make plays for their teammates. But I just think, at home, I think the Pacers get a win. I think it'll be a great crowd. It'll be on a Wednesday night. Should be a good one. So I take the Pacers.
I like your confidence, but I'm going to side with Zach and pick the Cavs on this one.
This is where I make my run.
Or this is where I finally pass you and not last place anymore.
I don't know. That's probably stupid on my part.
But after that, then we go to Washington. I shouldn't say we. The Pacers go to Washington.
We can say we. We're a community. We're a team over here.
We
are Indiana.
Friday night to play the red-hot Washington Wizards. Who would have thought beginning of the year they were a dumpster fire? Now they're sitting in third.
Yeah.
All the way in third. They're 9-1 their last 10 games.
They're pretty good.
Crazy. I don't know who I'm going to take here. I think I'm actually going to take the Wizards.
I got the Wizards for sure on this one.
That was quick.
Wizards for
Zach?
sure. Bradley Beal. Who's going to guard Bradley Beal on our team?
Nope. Not happening.
Glenn? No, I'm sorry.
Not happening.
Bradley Beal is going to go off for like 35.
On my pregame notes, I have the Wizards, but
Now you're going to change your...
now that I hear your decision,
Now we're just going off of like strategy. You're not going off
He's
of
got
what
a
you're
I am going off
5-game
strategy,
cushion?
Yeah. I'm picking the Wizards as well, just because they're hot. They got two great
4-game
guards.
cushion.
John Wall is playing the best ball of his career
Like
right
you
now.
guys are saying, who's going to guard Bradley Beal?
He's going to go off. And, I mean, Gortat's going to beat up Turner. Gortat's one of the more physical bigs in the league. It's going to be tough for young thin Miles to stay with that beast of a man. So, yeah.
Was the Polish Hammer, right?
Polish Hammer.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
The Polish Hammer. That's
Then,
funny.
Coming up, back-to-back,
I want to go to this game.
We have the
Anybody
Bucks.
want to send me tickets?
90s Decade Night, Reggie Miller bobblehead night.
I need that bobblehead.
That's all Ross cares about is the Reggie Miller bobblehead night.
We love our bobbleheads here on the
And it's
Commercial
90s night.
Show.
They'll be... Well, no, they won't be wearing pinstripes. They should be wearing pinstripes.
I want to see what the warm-up is, though, because the warm-ups have been pretty cool. I've got the 60s night. You've got the 70s night. Zach has a 70s night.
80s night. No one needs 80s night.
Yeah,
I may get the
70s.
90s night then. Complete the...
There you
Yeah, there we go.
But back to the game. Bucks are a team that's kind of struggling. There's a little bit of confusion what to do. You're in a spot where you're trying to make the playoffs, but also if you make the playoffs, you're going to get eliminated. So do you tank? Do you try to get that spot? Because if you continue playing the way you're going to go, you're just going to get a bad lottery pick.
Yeah.
Middleton's been out. He'll be coming back soon. We'll talk about
maybe this week.
Yeah, maybe this week. There's a lot of dysfunction going on that I've seen Bucks fans talking about. Do they need a new coach? Is it time for Kidd to leave and get more of a coach that's defensive minded who knows how to set the rotations? They're not a bad team. I mean, they're a great offensive team. What they struggle with is rebounding, just like the Pacers. But obviously,
maybe Big Roy will help out there.
Trade. Yeah, that Big Roy trade.
So there was Miles Plumlee and I think Novak's expiring.
Spencer Hawes.
No, I'm saying from the Bucks to the. So it was Miles Plumlee and expiring Steve Novak
Well, yeah,
contract.
because they had to give up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
For
You're right.
Roy Hibbert and Spencer.
So they're trying to
Hawes.
get more athletic.
No, I mean
other way around, less athletic.
No, they were just trying to get rid of that contract
It's a
because
bad
they signed
contract.
Plumlee for $12 million over 4 years, $12 million.
I lump the Bucks
a year.
in with like the Timberwolves. Like on paper, their roster looks really good with Giannis and Jabari and even their rookie point guard Brogdon, but they just haven't been able to put it together for some reason.
They just don't have any other pieces other than that.
That's
though.
true. After those
it.
three, and Middleton
with
once he gets back.
with the Timberwolves, they have more pieces there. Even with Levine out, they still have a lot of pieces. The Bucks, name another player than the Greek Freak, Jabari, Middleton, and Brogdon. I mean, Monroe barely plays.
It's terrible. I can't think of...
Dellavedova barely plays. He's been bad this year.
Yeah, who are their forwards after that?
I mean, they really don't have any other solid players. They have Thon Maker. I mean, it's rough
What a great
for them.
selection.
But Parker has been phenomenal this year. I mean, he could have been an all-star, honestly. He's been tremendous. But, yeah, I'll take the Pacers
What are we
here.
picking? Yeah, I'm taking the Pacers as well. Zach?
I got Pacers.
And I think
we're
they'll
all
still be
gonna-
acclimating to Middleton if he does play, so I don't know if the chemistry will be there as far as just, getting a feel for rotation and stuff. Last, we've got the Spurs. Shout out to Evan Murray, an avid listener of the show and big Spurs fan. They play the Spurs here on the 13th. Spurs at 39-11, right where they always are, just one of the best teams in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard playing at a really high level, MVP caliber level, really, if it wasn't for Westbrook and Harden. But I definitely have the Spurs on this one. I'm sorry,
yeah.
we can't. I'm
Spurs,
sorry,
yeah.
it's the Spurs.
We can't match up with that stuff. No.
They're efficient. They're number 2 in field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point percentage.
The way they move the ball,
they don't
too.
turn the ball over, and they score a lot of points. I mean, when you got Pop coaching, that's what you can expect.
And then Kawhi, they can just sick him on somebody, and he's going to shut them down or at least
Kyle
control
Anderson
them.
has been great too. And DeJounte, is it DeJounte? Deontay.
That
Murray,
rookie point guard out of
yeah,
Washington?
He's a beast too.
Crazy long.
They're always stacked.
Where do they find these guys?
Whenever they draft someone, if like there was any questions about that player, like there's always questions about Kyle Anderson coming out of UCLA. Like
Spurs draft him.
Is he too lazy? And it's like,
Must be good.
Must be good. Like must be fine. That's how that usually goes. So all right, that kind of recaps a tough schedule.
Could be a
coming up.
rough week for the Pacers.
We don't know. I think if they go 500 in this stretch, or a little over 500, they'll be just fine.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I'd
If
be
they
very
could
happy
do
with that.
3-2.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll take it.
But that does it for the Pacers Corner 3 show. You can catch us on our NBA show somewhere on our feed. But Ross, where can they catch us?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Follow us, baby.
There you go, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Tell your friends about us.
Email us.
You can email us your questions. You can get in touch with us.
Make fake accounts and send us questions. No, I'm just kidding. We need more people, followers, please.
Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.
Peace.